Have a good time. Don't make it serious. Yeah, you do. We should get another guitar.
Hey, how you been?
Does anybody else want to bring a guitar? We have another one over there. I mean,
does anyone want to hold a scariest sign that is about the length of the street?
Are we taking over the street?
You kind of could with this sign.
That sounds fantastic. What is it?
It's actually from one of the architects. They just gave it to us.
Talk to him. He's rolling out the red carpet.
Down the street.
They're trying to like go for
It's at least a couple weeks. 38 Studios is, you know, kind of close. So it's not like really blocking off traffic for too long.
Brian and Jim.
Yeah, we just found out about it today.
Jim!
There's been a lot of like controversy going on with what actually happened with the building. Right, everyone knows that Building 7 wasn't at all.
That shit did not come down the way
I'm good. And that was the financial center. You get it, right?
Yeah.
You know why? There's entities that possess certain bodies that have no empathy or emotion when things happen to them. Yo, Vatican, England.
It's amazing. They found the trucks miles away in the underground tunnel. They're like, well, these trucks are here. Where were you going with it?
Shit was vaporized. It was 2 weeks later, hotspots happened. Much hotter than jet fuel could burn.
Solidarity today with the people of Providence! Every single one of us stand in solidarity with their free beliefs that they voted on this recently. Fully and totally 100%!
I like tech rap.
Mic check! Mic check! Mic check!
We want to ask everybody
We want to ask everybody
to circle up around the Independence Trail circle here. It's going to be a circle rally. Let's start this jam.
This part of the is going to be hosted by me, Mariah, and Jared, and you know, we just want to repeat what our 3 demands are for this march, and that's no bailout, Wall Street bailout of 38 Studios. Woo! Tax the rich. It's solidarity, not austerity.
So we wanted to say real quick, you know, we definitely souped about getting to marching, and lots of times different rallies, it goes on and on and on. You get tired of listening, and we're not going to do that here today. We got a couple of great speakers who can, you know, speak well to the issues, speak on the issues well, and we're going to ask for 5 volunteers from the crowd after that to tell why they came here today and why they intend on marching with us, you know. So how does that sound? Does that sound like a good way to start? Woo! Does that sound like a good way to start? Yeah! We came up with this brand new chant while we were marching the other day to do the jobs, the RI Dead on Arrival jobs chalk die-in outside of 38 Studios, and it goes like this. I was wondering if we could start with it. It's kind of like money for jobs and a living wage, not for games. 38 Studios. Money for jobs and a living wage, not for games in 38. Money for jobs and living wage,
Not for games in 38!
money for jobs and living wage,
Not for games in 38!
money for jobs and living wage,
Not for games in 38!
money for jobs and living wage.
Not for games in 38!
All right,
questions about what is 38 Studios.
Yeah. Well, we're going to hear about that in just a minute, but unless Mariah would like to speak to it first, I mean, we can address it quickly.
I mean, real quick, it was pretty much a handshake deal between some people that gave 70 billion. 70 million.
No,
Plus?
75 to 112 million.
Yeah, a lot of money. And then they were supposed to create jobs. They did not, and now they're bankrupt and they've fired everyone.
Yeah, they were actually supposed to create at least 450 jobs here in Rhode Island for Rhode Islanders. And it's not that we don't have anything against workers who are from outside of Rhode Island, but when $125 million of Rhode Island money is approved to create jobs in Rhode Island for Rhode Islanders, and then 75 million at least of that money goes to a company that's promising to create 450 Rhode Island jobs, and then instead less than 290 jobs are created, and a whole significant portion of them are not even Rhode Island jobs, and then the company folds within 2 years, and then, you know, our governor and our treasurer expect the taxpayers of Rhode Island to be on the hook for that money, and a significant part of it that was financed through Wall Street. How do we feel about that? So, we've got Joey Speaks, Joey Quicks from What Cheer Brigade, who's a respected artist, musician, and organizer here in Rhode Island, who's going to kick it for us first. Can we give it up for Joey Quicks like we mean it?
My name's Joe DeFrancesco. What I want to talk about is not quite directly one of the three demands that Jared just brought up, but I want to talk about tipping. Alright, this is fitting because we're right outside of this hotel here. What I want to talk about is how in Rhode Island right now it's still legal for your managers or your supervisors or your bosses to steal your tip money. So if you're a waitress, a waiter, busboy, bartender, they can take any of your money, tip money that they want. Up until that, you're still making minimum wage, right? So this is going on all over Rhode Island. I worked at that hotel up the street, the Providence Hotel, for like 3.5 years. And every day they were stealing our tip money. The hotel would skim off a portion at the top, and then our supervisors would take another half. So at the end of the day, we were making less than half of what customers were intending to give us. All right? And this is going on everywhere. Anyone who's worked service jobs long enough has had this happen to them. So, I worked with Representative Blazejewski right here in Rhode Island, and we put together a bill that's going to make it illegal for them to do that to you in Rhode Island. It's already illegal in Mass, in New York, in California. It just passed the House almost unanimously, but right now it's stuck in the Senate Labor Committee. All right? It'll pass almost unanimously if it gets to a Senate vote. Right now they're just stalling it in the Senate Labor Committee. We only have about a week left to push this thing through. So what we're asking everyone to do is to just take 5 seconds, call your state senator, call the Senate Majority Leader, call the Senate Labor Chairperson. So I got these sheets that has the call rap on it. All the senators' numbers are on the back. Just take 5 seconds. I know everyone's always telling you, call your politician, blah, blah, blah. I don't usually pay attention a lot of the time either, but this is what's actually going to push this through, because they need to know it's serious enough that they put it to a vote. So I'm going to start handing these out to everyone. Just take 5 seconds now or at the end of the march, make that phone call, leave a message. That's what's going to make it illegal for these bosses to steal our tips in Rhode Island. Thank you.
Give it up for Joey! The next speaker that we're going to have, we also wanted to put it out there that Joey's part of a national movement, you know, about folks who are posting labor stories and stories and personal issues of labor injustice. It's joeyquits.com if you want to check that out.
Yeah, joeyquits.com. We got a lot more info about this bill too if you want to read more about it.
So can we give it up for Joey one more time? Yeah! So we just have one speaker left, and then we're going to hear from some folks about their stories about why they're here. Our next speaker is John Joyce from the Rhode Island Housing Advocacy Project. John is a respected organizer here in Providence and has been for many years, and he's been fighting against all 3 of these issues for a long, long time, and I'm really super to hear him speak today personally.
I want to thank everyone for being here today. This is important. What I do, I work the streets of Rhode Island. With the bailouts, corporations taking our money, the reality is people in this state are sleeping on the streets. I think it's a crime that people sleep on the streets, not just in Rhode Island, but nationally. When I see bailouts for 38 studios, when I see bailouts it's a Bank of America. I love the city of Providence. We're seeing people from all over the country here. Reality is, when you go to your hotel tonight, there'll be people sleeping out in the streets of Providence. That's the reality that I see every day. When I see money going to 38 studios, $75 million as an advocate during that time, I was just trying to get $1.5 million to try to get people off the streets of Rhode Island. The insider deals that were going on at the State House have to stop. If I stole money out of anybody's pocket, I would be put in jail. It's about time we target the individuals and actually punish them for the crimes that they're doing. No more just saying it's a society. Actually take the people that are responsible and put them into court, put them on trial, and put them to jail like anybody else is. I think it's disgusting that in this country and in this state, people have to sleep on the streets just because of insider deals and corporations being bailed out. If you have some time, like my brother said, call your legislators, not just on the state level, national level. This has got to end. It's got to end now. Let's start. Let's go. Thank you.
And of course, there's the guy with the pooper scooper as well.